I'd like to just start off and really, thank the coaches for the preparation they gave the players over the last 24 hours. They did a great job. You could see that in the practice today with the rookie minicamp, which is not always easy. You're getting guys from all over the country, and it really shows the teaching skill by our offense, defense, and special teams coordinators along with their staff. So really good today. The operation was excellent. The message to the team afterward was really we just have to do a better job as we do with the rookies is the transition from drill to drill. That needs to be quicker. The tempo of the practice in terms of getting in and out of the huddle, defense, balls ready, we're ready, all the mechanics of that, and then really just the rudiments of the game, alignment, assignment, key and technique with the whole offense and defense was a little bit needed work today, but we'll get better tomorrow, and that's to be expected for the rookies. The draft picks that we have, they all look quick, athletic, explosive, just like we talked about. I was really pleased with all those guys. The offensive line, to me, stood out, in terms of their operation. I think, Simo does a great job coaching those guys, and they look good. There's a lot of good prospects in there, and we're excited about where those guys are, and just in terms of how they look, how they move. So we're excited about that. So open it up for questions.
Do you have a health update for us on Elijah Hicks and Kyler Gordon?
Yeah, so we're not going to really get into injuries this time of year, but with Elijah, when he's ready to go, he'll get back in there. I'm not going to put timetables on it and all that, but he'll work through that. And then Gordon just had cramps. He was out there, started practice. He had a couple cramps, so we was just get him hydrated and get him ready for tomorrow.
So you expect him tomorrow?
Yeah.
Brisker described himself as an old school safety in terms of being physical and playing center field type. How do you describe him? What do you see in his type of game?
Yeah, so the hitting is there. So, the old term that a lot of my mentors used to use is quickness, instincts, and striking ability. And that's what he has. And those things still are true today as they were, years ago. So he has those attributes, and we're excited where he is. What a positive energy guy, too. That's really a thing, and you can really feel the light coming out of him. So it's really, really good.
We asked Ryan the other night about Dominique Robinson, obviously a guy that has a skill set that's still being developed and evolved. What do you see in him, and what are you most eager to work with in the skill set in a guy that's still kind of converting to the position?
Yeah, it's pretty neat when you think about it. A guy who's played, receiver and different positions, and the skill set and the leanness of him. And you can kind of see that in his lowers. When you look at him, you can see it, as you watch him come around the corner. He does a good job converting to power, too, so he has that at the top of the rush. When you look at these defensive linemen that can turn the corner, he's always about, is everything pointing at the quarterback? Your hips, your knees, your toes, and then that takes flexion. You got to be flexible to be able to do that. The great ones have always had that, and you guys have seen many of those. So he has that. How far that can go, I don't know, but he does have some of the attributes that you need to have.
On his runway up to training camp, what do you emphasize for him? This is stage one for you in making sure.
Yeah, I just learned the defense, just making sure that he does the process right and learn the defense. And, Travis Smith, our D-line coach, is an excellent teacher as well. So he just got to do that.
Now, with your 2 second-round picks, both guys in the secondary, do you think there's an advantage in, A, those 2 guys starting their careers together, and B, your defense is the first NFL defense they're going to learn?
I do think there's an advantage to that, just because of the togetherness. So they're starting, at the floor and then working their way up, and those guys will have that special bond with each other because they're going to learn it as they go. And they're certainly both smart guys. They're very intelligent, and they're going to work together as they get through the defense. And that's going to be exciting to watch, those 2 guys.
Now, we saw Charles Tillman was here last night speaking with the team. Why do you see, I guess, which other players your former players do you expect to come in, and why do you see it as important to have them kind of convey that message to these guys?
Yeah, it's important for our staff and this, what we believe, to understand the history and honor that tradition, because what's been done here before in the past, the greats of the past, is just outstanding. And to bring those guys back and to relay that message, that foundational floor that those guys put together for this franchise is second to none. And those guys are new players, the young players, have to recognize that. And the message that Tillman had was outstanding, the other day, just about being a pro, being a Chicago Bear, and what that means to him, and what it means to the fans, and what it means to the city. And to me, you can't have enough of that. And I told Charles, just to pass the word around, talk to the guys, because, I texted a bunch of guys when I got the job and have talked to several of them, and they're all welcome to come in. We would love to see them, and we're excited about having that in the future.
How does Tavon Young fit into what you want to do in the secondary? Do you have concerns about durability for a guy like that?
When the guy has history, you always worry about certain things, but I do believe that he's a true pro and he takes care of himself. And I think that, health is always, sometimes things happen and in the course of the game and you can't control them. But you have to control the things you can, right? So getting your body right for practice, getting your body right for the games, and he's got to continue to do that.
Well, how does he fit what you guys want to do when he is out there?
Well, we're still working on that. Is he an inside player? He's been inside. Can he be outside? We're still working through that. A lot of guys, have been in and out of the practices. We've only had that voluntary minicamp to really look at them, in terms of football. So we're still in the process of that, Brad.
Jalen played right side the last 2 seasons. Do you see him flipping to the other side? How do you kind of weigh a decision like that?
Yeah, I think it is a decision that you have to make eventually. Do you have the guys match guys? Do you have them play right or left? Left, is where the people say that's where most of them that goes that way. The ball goes that way. But if you do the stats, I don't know if that's true. Because I've looked at that several times. But we'll figure all that out as we go. It's just going to be a process all the way through OTAs. The mandatory minicamp, and then all the way into training camp. So we're just going to keep working through it.
And with all the guys you had out there, did you have any kind of eye on Halas Jones as far as being a drafted receiver for an offense that really needs it? And any first impressions, seeing him in the flesh, sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. Halas did a great job. He was, as we expected, high energy. Caught the ball very, very well today. We're excited to have him out there. He played inside, outside. He was all over the place, in terms of that. So, and I think he functioned pretty good. So, excited to see that athlete on the field for sure.
Just to follow up on that, the pairing of Halas and Luke, what excites you about that? And just, I know you described Luke before as innovative, and to have a guy that can be multidimensional and do those things.
Yeah, I was talking to Luke the other day about his special attributes that he has, and he's got a big plan for him. He's got a big, he's going to look at his skill set, and then we'll expand that role. Let's start out at receiver, and then let's see what he can do, moving him around to different spots and getting him the ball, because he is an explosive athlete.
Matt, there's been a little bit made about the team not drafting more than just one receiver, and I'm wondering can that take shape in a different form? Treston Ebner told us that he feels one of his best attributes is catching passes out of the backfield. Do you feel like, does it have to be more receiver depth, or can you spread that around in different ways with players who also have that skill set?
Yeah, I agree with your question. With spreading things around, having weapon backs where you can move them out, and they have the whole route tree. We know what a pain that is for the defense. To be able to do that, and the matchup issue. Do you match them with a safety? Can you match them with a linebacker? And the more those guys can do, the harder it is to defend. And we'll have a few guys at that. But again, our roster is, and Ryan always says that our roster is ongoing. We're going to add players and subtract players as we go, and we're going to get the best guys we can get all the way up till game time and all the way through the season. We're going to keep doing it. So we're always looking to find the best guys.
At these rookie mini camps, you always have a lot of guys who have been kind of training for a track meet the last few months instead of playing football.
Right.
How cognizant of that are you when you get them out here on the football field for the first time in a while?
Yeah, the rookies are really, we're just throwing everything at them, in terms of what the simplicity of the installs are going to be, for this day and then the next day, and we kind of slow down them for the last day, just to see if they can retain it. For us, it's more about, can you function as a pro? Mentally first, Can you get it? Can you get the schemes and then get the formations, the motions down, and then can you operate and make the play? Then can you listen to instructions? Can you do practice the right way? Because you got to be able to stay on your feet and practice the right tempo, and do the things the right way. And I think guys did a good job with that. But that's really what we're looking for each rookie at this time.
Matt, two more we met this morning. I think Charlie kind of fits all of them, and that's to be expected.
Yeah.
In your experience, how long does it take for the wow factor to kind of wear off the rookies and, to use your expression, be able to function like pros?
Yeah, I think the ones that are really good, that are going to be starters in the league, I don't think it takes very long. I really don't. I think it takes a couple practices, and then when they get with the vets, once they get with the vets, they'll be like, oh, okay, I can do this, and then they just go. And it doesn't take very long for the guys that can do that.
Matt, what'd you see out of a guy like Allie Green, who got that first opportunity outside corner, opposite of Kyler Gordon?
Okay. Help me with that one.
31.
Okay, 31. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I liked him. I wrote his number down a bunch today. We're evaluating a bunch of guys, but we'll keep evaluating his skill set. We'll look at it, but he's certainly somebody we got our eye on for sure.
Yeah.